Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. And before we move forward, let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to the channel GNA TV. Hope you guys are all well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. And yes, I'm in a different setting today than I usually am today. I haven't been around for a while, and it's been bugging me because I didn't get to do the player rating show with you guys to go through the Arsenal-Chelsea, which we'll talk a little bit about. Jules Kounde is the topic today. We will be talking about Jules Kounde to Chelsea. We're also going to be talking about the opportunity of potential midfielders still coming to Chelsea. Will Chelsea look to bring in a midfielder to the football club? We will be opening the lines. That means you guys can get involved. But I do need to make it past 30 likes. So please make sure we hit that like button. Let's smash it. Yeah, the more you smash it, the more it goes through the algorithm, the more people we get here, the more of an audience we've got to get involved. So let's try and do that, guys. There's 17 of you here. Let's try and push to that 30 likes mark as quickly as possible, please. How you been, guys? How have you been? Because yes, I have been gone. We've had Alex coming in doing the Nice versus Marseille watch along, which went very, very well. I'm glad that the European shows are back. I am predominantly your Chelsea host, which means you'll be getting a lot of Chelsea talk, whether it's news, whether it's previews, rating shows, whatever you want. We talk Chelsea. We also do a debate show. The debate show is back, and we will be looking to consistently bring in Chelsea content for you guys as well. So the debate show will be happening. And I can't tell you who we're going to be talking about first, but there is some certain individual players that we have to go through again, do debates about, get you guys involved, etc., etc. Before we move forward, though, let's see what you're saying in the chat. Let's just see. So we've got Fata here. Fata is saying, yo, 1 second. Someone's just tagged me and saying already. Oh, God. I don't know what that is. Sorry, guys. Yes. Someone is saying, yo. Fata is saying, yo. Fata, how you doing, my guy? Hope you're well. We've also got, please smash the likes for new engagement. I am married. Got a ring on, man. Got a ring on. So I'm newly married. The big wedding's next year, hence why I have been away. I had to give some time to the missus, had to give her their time before I get back into my YouTube. Being a content creator is hard because you want to stream all the time. And what I learned over these couple of days is I can't do that. Do you know what I mean? I can't actually do that. I've got to give time. I've got to give time to her as of when, she wants it as well. So it is what it is. What we've got here, we've got Rebecca. Big up to Rebecca. She's saying, please make me a mod. Rebecca, I will make you a mod. Where are you, Rebecca? Let's have a look. Let's make Rebecca a mod. Let's make her a mod. Rebecca, you are now a mod in the chat as well. Why not? Kounde to Chelsea soon. Yes, we will be talking that very, very soon. Smash the likes. Erin, hope you're well, man. It's good to see you guys. Big up to Big Ron as well. Says, good afternoon, Gems. Good afternoon to everyone. Concierge of crime. Let's go. It's the married man, Jim. Big up yourself. London is blue. Big up to you, my guy. Zevio Genius is in the house as well. Big up to my guy. Hope you are well. We are going to stop Chelsea this Saturday. Who with? Virgil van Dijk, the one-legged defender. We got the warrior, bruv. We've got the bulldozer. We have got Romelu Lukaku, the bulldozer, someone that will run through your defence. It will run through your defence. And I'm looking forward to it, actually. It's going to be a good battle, Velv. Big up to Declared, who's in the chat as well. No, you are streaming from another bird's bed. No, she don't, Big Ron. That's a good point. Keep it on the low. Shame I can't come onto the terrace on Friday and Saturday. Would love to see us beat Chelsea. Yeah, all right, mate. All right, Ram. If you say so, mate. Crusty Debate Show will be happening very, very soon as well. Thank you very much. Big up to Zabir as well. Oh man, there's so many people in the chat right now. This is good. 20 of you here. Guys, push 30 likes. Share on all your socials. Let's let people know that we're live. So share it on your Twitter, share it on your Instagrams. Let's get the audience built up on this afternoon of a Tuesday. Big up to Wayne. Yeah, got your date for Chelsea game. Yeah, I have, mate. I have. And now I've got this out of the way. I was meant to try and go to the Liverpool game. That was my aim, to try and get myself to the Liverpool game. But that ain't going to be happening as well. Big up to Sam as well. After watching the match at the Emirates, heard Klopp is going to start Kounde to save VD from getting manhandled by Lukaku. I like that one. Rams out here saying Elliott over Mount. What a waffler. Yeah, I heard that as well. Rams, hold your head up in shame. And if you did say that, I want you to come on here and say it. Yeah, I want to hear it. Chelsea's 21-22 campaign begins this weekend. Completed pre-season against Arsenal. Yeah, it was literally that, Rebecca. It was literally like a pre-season. It was a pre-season game. And let's talk about that very quickly before we go into the Kounde news and everything else that you guys want to talk about. We slapped Arsenal. It was like we didn't get out of second gear. We took the game and we controlled the game. You know, it wasn't like we even in the second half when we were 2-0 up, it was like we were playing within ourselves. We didn't allow them the time, the time to breathe on the ball. They weren't comfortable at the back. Mari literally was kissing Romelu Lukaku's arse the whole game. Like he literally just got manhandled by Romelu Lukaku. They both did. Even Rob Holding got manhandled. They got dealt with, yeah. Kai Havertz and Mason Mount were making interchanging runs behind, off him as well, which was in dragging players out of position. They kept saying that Xhaka and Lokonga, they were saying to him, they have to shut the space to Lukaku. So every time the ball was played in, but they just couldn't get nowhere near him. There was too many interchanges. There was too much movement from the Chelsea team. And it caused Arsenal a hell of problems, like big, massive problems. Them going forward, we looked comfortable. We dealt with it. We were solid. They didn't really touch us, They couldn't really touch us. They were struggling. They were struggling massively to try and compete. And it was 2-0, but it could have been 3 or 4. We could have slapped them. We could have honestly slapped them 3 or 4-0. And it was nice because when you look at Chelsea and how they've played in the past against Arsenal, they have become a little bit of a bogey team, a team that we struggle to beat, a team that we struggle to break down. A team that seems to turn up against Chelsea and then next week go and lose to Sheffield United or something. Do you know what I mean? Or Burnley. That's what Arsenal were. Do you know what I mean? And it became frustrating because we knew we were a better team. We are a better team than them. We are the best team in London. Doesn't matter what these men say. They are not on our level. They're just not. They're not on the Chelsea level, So we move and, it was a comfortable win. 2 wins in a row. We go on next to Liverpool game. Hopefully we can get a win there as well. Don't be upset if we get a draw. A draw to Liverpool is not the end of the world, guys. Just bear that in mind. Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea are the 3 teams that are going to be competing. For it. Going to be competing this season for the majors as well. Ram said he would be better. He never said better now. Chelsea fans rattled is what Velv is saying. Rudiger has the biggest remontada of his career, but no one would want to talk about him being world-class and arguably the top 10 in the world. There you go. Big up to Real Chris in the house as well. My guy. Come on, Jem. Jorginho for Ballon d'Or. Run the agenda. I let you guys do that. There's enough Jorginho Ballon d'Or lovers on Twitter. I don't think you guys need me on there as well. Let's be serious. But, if it's not Jorginho, it's Krusty. If it's not Krusty, it's someone else. And it's someone else. And it's someone else. Listen, guys, we're at 18 likes. Let's try and push the 30 like marks. Why are we? There's 25 of us here. Let's get to 30 likes. Push it. Yeah, please do that. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. We're on our road to 2.5k. The streams are going to be, the content is going to be continuous now as well. You guys are going to be getting the content from us. We're going to talk Kounde. Then we're going to talk the midfielder aspect, and then we're going to open up the lines and you guys can get involved. Chelsea are lucky that Fabinho might not be available to play. Velv, why would we be worried about Fabinho? Mount is average, is what a Liverpool fan says. When you look at his own midfield, apparently Mount's average. All right, mate. When you've got Henderson, let's be serious. It's great to see Lukaku pass ball to Havertz. Yeah, he's added a lot to his game. Zuma to West Ham might strengthen the rival, but if we add Kounde to our squad, we increase the gap in quality. And Rebecca is spot on there. The quality, the levels that we increase for ourselves in terms of the back, because you got to look right. Zuma's just not a defender. Zuma is a defender, but he can't play in that position. He just can't play in the back three under Tuchel. What Kounde can do is give us versatility. He comes in, he can play left centre back, right centre back, middle, DM if need be. And this is why we're going to talk about the central midfielder role as well. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting sort of topic today. Congrats on your first win over Arsenal since December 2009. London is well and truly red. Josh, you're eighth. You're eighth, and then you're eighth, and now you're 19th. What are you talking about, bro? Stop this nonsense. Stop this nonsense. But let's talk Kounde. I forgot to do my banners, actually. Let me do one of my quick banners before we talk Kounde. This update here. Kounde to Chelsea. So it's just for the people that come in. But there is 30 of you here right now, which means we should be on 30 likes, guys. Come on. Let's get to that. Let's review the topics. Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's go to the first bit of news that I have got today. And it is, I've got two Fabrizio Romanos, isn't I? This one here. Mr. Fabrizio Romano. I said that very Italian-y, didn't I? Fabrizio Romano. Jules Kounde has an agreement on personal terms with Chelsea until June 2026, since weeks. He's ready to join if the two clubs reach an agreement, but he'll be respectful if Sevilla are not forcing his move. Like I said, but he'll be respectful with Sevilla, not forcing his move. Zuma to West Ham, key to proceed. Talks ongoing on personal terms. Now, the biggest thing here, guys, that we need to understand, right, is that Jules Kounde and personal terms were agreed weeks ago. Do you remember when we were first linked to the guy and it built up so quickly over a 2-3 day period, and it was like bang, 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 and all this information came out about Jules Kounde being a Chelsea player, wanting to play for Chelsea, and then he was sitting on the bench and he wasn't even playing pre-season games for Sevilla. We had already, by them, sorted out this part of the deal. This is done. This was done back then. The only thing that I think is really stalling this Kounde deal, and I think it's near the end of it now. I think we're at the end of the Kounde situation, is Zuma. And I think Zuma's been, in many ways, not delaying, I won't say delaying, but waiting for the best offer to come forward for him. So he's been waiting for the best offer to come in, the best offer to be put forward to him, for him to go away. Now, it looks like West Ham is the possibility. Yeah, Zuma to West Ham, key to proceed, talks on going on personal terms. So, you know, it's just getting Zuma to be comfortable to go in there. Once we get the green light here, once we see that happen, then I think you will see that Jules Kounde just happens like that. I think we're probably going to offer Sevilla the full wage. This talks about a 70 million, I think it's around 70 odd million, if I'm right, in terms of where is it? I had it here. Did I have it here? Someone had it here for me. Sorry, guys, 1 second. It was about 70 odd million, I believe, that they were looking for him. Anyway, one of you guys can confirm it in the chat, but it was around 70 odd million that we were looking for. I think Chelsea are just trying to price Kurt Zuma. It's just getting the right price for him, you know. So we need to get that done before we can even think about looking at Kounde. Why? Because we have got too many defenders. We have too many defenders at the moment. Kurt Zuma goes, people go, but what happens to Chalobah? There's no point of bringing Kounde in because we've got Chalobah. And what does that mean for Chalobah? Like, we're not going to give him a chance. It's got nothing to do with Chalobah. Yeah, Chalobah will be utilised. He will be rotated. He won't start games in and out. That's just not what he's brought to Chelsea to do. That's not what he's there to do. However, you bring Jules Kounde in and you allow Zuma to go, it gives us cover. So if Rudiger wants to rest, because let's be serious, who out of the Chelsea back defenders that we got can play in Rudiger's role? Barring maybe Christensen. And I don't even think he sees him now. I think he sees him more as a central defender. Kounde gives us that, guys. He gives us the versatility, and it's so important that we do get this deal done. Not only is he still very young, he's still very young at the age of 21 or 22 years old, but he also improves our squad massively. Strength in depth, competition, being able to compete with the best in the league. You have to have a decent squad, a squad that is full of talent, squads that want to, and players that want to compete. People that come to Chelsea don't come to Chelsea to just walk into the team. They come to Chelsea to compete, to challenge. You know, Tuchel's very good at rotating. I've said this a number of times. You won't always see the same Chelsea team. You won't always see the same Chelsea squad. We saw Havertz, Mount and Lukaku the other day. Do not be surprised if you see Lukaku, Werner, Mount. Lukaku, Havertz, Werner. Pulisic, Ziyech, whatever. There will be rotation within this squad. So when people say, oh, we shouldn't bother buying a centre-back, we don't need it, go and buy him. If he's available and he's ready to go and he's one of the best in the world, which I think he is, everyone knows how much I like Kounde, then you go and get him. You don't waste time. Listen, there's 50 of you here right now, guys. Please make sure you hit the like buttons. I want to try and get to 50 likes as quickly as possible. Hit the bell notification below. That'll let you guys know when we go live as well. Subscribe to the channel, please, as well. That will be perfect if you can do that. Let's go through some of your chats before we move on. Elliot is bang average. I don't know what you guys are talking on here. Josh, Kounde is nearly as tall as Lewis, G. He doesn't. This thing of his tallness and that is, again, rubbish. No offense, Big Ron. It's making me laugh. Yeah, he's the same size as Aspie. Is Aspie a bad defender because of his height? Like, people need to relax. And if you go and look at his stats, I think he was second in his team, second highest aerial duels won in his team was Kounde. Please carry about people crying about Kounde. Kounde is 5 foot. He's taller than Aspie and the same height as Reece James. There you go. Big up to Rebecca on that one as well. We have. Oh God, what are you taking? You're talking about. Josh says there's levels to this game. I think these guys are arguing with each other. I'm trying to fly through these with you guys now. Big Ron, we have agreed a contract. Go look at Fab's tweet. I don't know what you're lot talking about. You're not talking anything that I'm talking about. From what Kounde ain't even better than Sean Duffy. Oh, Josh, Kounde would walk into your team. You bought Ben Shite. Yeah, and he got manhandled by Ivan Toney against Brentford, and you lost 2-0, man. I don't get how Arsenal fans are so gassed and talking about this all the time, you know. 63% aerial duels won, Josh says, and it's true. 63%. You know, that's more than half. That is more than half, guys. We're at 30 likes. Let's try and push the 50 mark. There were only 20 away. There's 45 of you here. Smash the like button. The link will be in the chat very soon. I will give you guys the opportunity to have your say and get involved in these topics as well. So please make sure that you stay in on that. There was one more little bit of Fabrizio Romano information that I wanted to share. And that information was to do with, again, it mentions Kounde, but it sort of links all together. So what we're hearing here, Fabrizio Romano also saying, is that Saul is one of the possibilities for Chelsea as he has the chance to leave Atletico. As reported here, Chelsea will decide this week whether to buy a new midfielder or not. The priority is Kounde deal, outgoings and decidings on new midfielder. So it made it very clear that even though you know, there is a possibility that we're going to sign a central midfielder, Kounde is still the priority at Chelsea. And I keep saying there's more to the Kounde deal than what meets the eye. He brings versatility. And I think there's more of a reason why Chelsea would look to bring in someone like that can cover in so many positions than just go and buy a central midfielder. I do think we need one. Don't get me wrong. We do need to get a central midfielder of any kind in. But it does go back to my next thing about the central midfielder thing. So what do we do here? Because we don't go and sign Saul. We only have 3 out-and-out midfielders. We saw Jorginho, Kovacic and Kante all sort of mixing and playing already in the game against Arsenal. What do we do here? Do we look into what we currently have? People that we brought back. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of outgoings. A lot of people are going to be leaving the football club. You know, that's going to happen. I'll give you a bit of news, actually. I went on a tour to Chelsea on Saturday. I went there Saturday. I was only meant to go to the mega store because I wanted to try and sort myself out a kit, right? And the steward at the front of Stamford Bridge told me to go around the back. He said the museum's open. So I went around the back, and as I got around to the back, I saw the Champions League trophy and obviously the Super Cup that we won. Had a picture with it, as you do. It'd be rude not to. And basically, they then said to me, oh, you know, as a part of having your pictures and that, you can also have a tour of the stadium. So you get to walk around the pitch. You get to go into the stands. You get to go into the tunnel. You go into the away dressing room. You go into the home dressing room, right? And I've got loads of pictures in that. I will share that with you guys at some point on my Twitter. If you ain't got me on Twitter, go and follow me as well. It's in my name there, CFC_Gem. So get following me over there. And we went into the away side of the Chelsea stadium, and it was small, and it was like, I mean, it was better than probably a lot of other away clubs. And then we went into the home side. I went into the home dressing room, right? And as you walk in, you've got all of the players' shirts, yeah, so you can see where they sit. So we have Havertz, Kante, Lukaku was in the middle. You had Kepa, Mendy, Aspie, Thiago Silva all one side. Then you had someone else on the other. But in between all of these kits, there was gaps, and there was no kits there, right? So when we were sitting there, I was about to ask it, someone went, why is there gaps in between the kits? Like, what's the situation? And the guy said, and the guy that was showing us around the tour went, well, we're still undecided on who's going to stay, but also players that are actually going to leave. And he wasn't meant to have told us. Obviously, we're not putting their kits up when we're doing the tours because they're not representing Chelsea anymore. One of them players, because I was sitting there trying to work out what players are not there, like what players are not actually there. One of the players that wasn't there, I'll tell you, Emerson. Emerson's kit was not in the home area, changing room area. So, like I said to you, all the kits get laid out. All the players that are playing this season, there was gaps in between. Emerson's kit weren't there. He was not there. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's kit was not there. Yeah, there was only. I was trying to see if there was any midfielders, like any other midfielders that were there. Billy Gilmore's position was gone, as we know. He's gone out on loan. There was none. It was just Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic. They were the only midfielders that we had lined up in that area. So, is there an opportunity that we might still be looking to bring someone in? Is what I'm trying to get at, potentially. Because there were spaces, man. There were spaces, and these spaces have to be filled up. These kits have to be aligned, and they wasn't. There was like a little bit there, and then there wasn't one there. Then there was one there. There wasn't one there, and then there was one there, and then you had Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, Pulisic all next to each other. Funny enough, and because it was interesting. But Emerson, for Emerson's kit not to be there tells me that we're potentially going to sell him. He will leave the club. It looks like we're looking to get rid of him at some point. So watch out for that, guys. There's 52 of you here, guys, and we've only got 30 likes. Let's try and get to 50 likes. Smash the like button. Please do that. Please, please, please do that. Subscribe to GNA TV. We are on the route to 2.5k subscribers. Yeah, this is one of the only channels that I know that allow you guys, other than the Football Terrace and some others here and there, to come on and have your say about your football club. Let's go through some of the chats that you've got here as well. Tchouameni or Saul would be great, is what he says. He thinks either one of these two individuals would be good at Chelsea. There's a good chance that may still happen. The Tchouameni thing could happen. Why couldn't it? I think Chelsea trying to get the Kounde deal done first. I think that is the priority. That has always been the priority, to try and get that done and offload Zuma as well. I think Zuma has to go out the door for us to even think about bringing in the Kounde. In terms of the midfielder, by what I seen the other day when I went down to the stadium, I think we're either signing a midfielder. I think we're either going to bring someone in, or we're going to use people like Trevor Chalobah to potentially cover that area, or even a Jules Kounde. Do not be surprised if you ever see a Jules Kounde just come into the midfield. It could happen. It could happen very, very soon. Jules Kounde latest fire Fabrizio Romano. Kounde has an agreement. I've just read this. Mate. So basically the breaking news on the Jules Kounde thing, the biggest news on the Jules Kounde thing, I would say, is this one really, and it is imminent, guys. We're pretty much at the latter end of it now, yeah. So Jules Kounde has an agreement on personal terms with Chelsea until June 2026. Since weeks, as we already know. Like I said to you before, this was done when we were first even linked to him. He's ready to join if the two clubs reach an agreement, but he will be respectful with Sevilla, not force a move. So he's already set up to go to Chelsea. However, we can't bring him in until he's not going to force it for whatever reasons. So that's fine. But obviously Chelsea are still trying to get rid of him. So once they get rid of Zuma, then they can think about bringing in someone like Jules Kounde. I think it will happen. People like Dean Jones on the Football Terrace has come out and made it clear. Fabrizio Romano has even said himself that he thinks this is going to still happen. I would be surprised if we don't get it done. I would. But then I'd want to see a midfielder. I'd want to see someone coming through the door. You know, I would really want to see someone coming through the door. Let's go through some of these chats. Sal with an option to buy would be awesome. I'm still not 100% on Sal. I mean, how many of you in the chat would like to see Sal at Chelsea? And what is it you think he can offer to the team? What is it that Saul Niguez can offer to Chelsea? Because I've watched him, and I watched him last season, and yeah, I know they won the league and whatever else, but I feel like he's very limited. You know, I feel like he's very limited. I think he'll score goals. He'll assist. You know, my worry is, can he do the work the other way? Is he someone that likes to get stuck in, work hard, get around the pitch? Because you're asking him to play in a 6 role, right? If we're bringing in Saul Niguez, he's not coming in to play as an 8. There's no way in hell he's going to be able to fit into an 8. Just not going to happen. So he'll have to play. You'll have to play as a 6, right? Is he comfortable in playing as a 6? Jim, we need eight homegrown Premier League players, league rules. How many have we got as academy and been there for 5 years? Then we need 8 homegrown players, Premier League rules. How many have we got as an academy and been there for 5 years? That's true. That's true, Hassan. I didn't think of that, actually. That is true. If Monaco lose in their semis qualified tonight, then we might be a chance to sign Tchouameni. We'll see. Big up to Mo at the Blue Lounge. Make sure that you go and follow him as well. Smash the like button. Go and subscribe to him. And please smash the like button, guys. There's 60 of you here right now. How am I not on 50 likes yet? We need to smash the likes. Share on all your socials. The link is going to be in the chat. You guys can come on, have your say, and get involved. Emerson is already gone. He's at Leon. That's true. Yeah, Emerson. Well, that probably makes sense, doesn't it? Obviously, on Saturday when I was there, I haven't been looking at any news, Rodrigo. Literally, this whole weekend, I have been away from news. I didn't even know. I didn't even know he had gone. But yeah, he's gone there. So that makes sense. Big up to Igal, man. Like Igal, you've been running away from me, man. Every time I've come to talk to you about Arsenal and Chelsea, you disappear. Igal's been hiding from me, guys. Igal has been hiding from me ever since they've lost. Since they lost to the mighty Blues, you know. We are 13 away from 15 likes. We get to 50 likes, I'll release the link. 50 likes. Mods, let me know how many likes we have, please. I'd rather buy Tchouameni and send him back on loan. Too good for our bench right now. Plus, Kounde and Tchouameni had the same agent. 2 birds, 1 stone. Rebecca couldn't have said it any better there. We are already dealing with Tchouameni's agent, Kounde. So how do we know that we haven't even spoke about Tchouameni to him, you know? Kounde is the perfect Aspie replacement. Yeah, he is. And he can play that position, Andrew. He can definitely play that position. Really hope Zuma is not going to price himself out of a move. Can't understand how he's hopping around Cobham all smiles when he's currently... I just think that's Kurt Zuma, Rebecca. Like, he's Mr. Happy. Even when he's probably not that happy, he's always smiling. And that's one thing that I know a lot of the Chelsea players have said about Kurt Zuma. He's someone that it brings jokes, he's funny, brings a smile to a lot of people within the Chelsea team, you know, and for me, I don't think Kurt Zuma's been that bad for Chelsea. I know a lot of people sit there and say, oh, he's not this, that, and the other. We've got to bear in mind he's playing in a role that just does not suit him. He's being asked to do something he's not good at doing. You ask him to distribute the ball out. He's not a distributor, guys. He plays in a back 4 next to someone, you know. He likes to have a scruff, that Zuma. And the one thing we will lose with Zuma, and I'm going to keep saying this, in terms of the aerial duels, in terms of being competitive in the air, we've lost that when we've lost Kurt Zuma. He was our top goal scorer from as centre-backs come. He's the only real outright for me threat from a corner out of our centre backs. Christensen is not good enough in the air. Rudiger does it on and off. Thiago Silva, yeah, again on and off, not the greatest. Back in day, yeah, I would say. Who else have we got? Aspie, not the greatest in the air. Kurt Zuma, when we were at corners, gave us a presence. You know, he was a bully. He was so good in the air, and that's something we're going to miss. I don't think you guys realise that from corners, from set pieces. Kurt Zuma was an asset to our football club. Yes, he might be bad with the ball, give the ball away, lacks concentration, but they all did, and they all do. You know, but Kurt Zuma as an individual has been very good for me at Chelsea, and I have no problems with him. If he does leave the club, I wish him the best because he deserves it as well. Madman says, I hope Monaco lose and don't get qualified so we can sign him. Everyone wants Monaco to get knocked out so that we can sign Tchouameni. Left foot, Spanish touch, shots from outside the box, final third passing comes from a defensive-minded squad. Is this Josh's views on Tchouameni? He's saying left foot, Spanish touch from... Yeah, I get that, but he's not the quickest. Can he get around the pitch? Is he someone that can get around the pitch would be my question. You know, can he get around the pitch? So is a busted flush. Hope United don't sign him. Not the same player since the injury or Athletic would not let get rid of it. That's true. Why would Atletico Madrid be getting rid of him if he's this good? Yo, Jim, big up to you. Congrats on you. Big up to you, DJ Savjay guy. Thank you, my guy. Big up to Baggy as well. Always big up to Baggy. Jim, midfield is no issue. We have Mount and Ziyech and Havertz. They can play for it there. But can they, Charlie? Can we ask them to play in the 6? I think the 6 is a massive difference, man. You know, you're asking a lot. You're asking a lot. Bring on Igal. Igal's always welcome if he wants to join. You know, big up to him. I see a lot of people in the chat. Fab tweeted. Check Fab. Let's check Fab. I'm being told Fabrizio Romano has tweeted something else. It's usually around this time, isn't it? It's always when I'm live. Oh, okay. New update on Sal. Just came in, guys. Fabrizio Romano has just came out and said Sal is set to leave Athletic. So this is official. He is leaving. Chelsea opened talks for Sal days ago. There's official bid now on the table, along with a buy option. So let me put this in my banner because this is the breaking news that we have on here right now. And then I'm going to release the link. But are we at 50 likes? That's the question. Are we at 50 likes? This quote down here, guys. I forgot to just add Fabrizio. Let's put Fabrizio. This is the problem when things like this happen. I have to then re-edit my stuff and pull it up. So there it is, guys. Sal is set to leave Athletic. Chelsea opened talks for Sal days ago. There's official bid now on the table, loan with a buy option as well. So Chelsea are getting him on a loan with a buy option. So that works. Also, Man United have asked for Sal again in the last 24 hours. He's in the list with Camavinga. He's ready for his Premier League move. And there you go, guys. There's the big update there. Saul Niguez is to leave Atletico Madrid. Chelsea have already opened talks with him days ago. We've already laid an official bid, which is a loan with a buy option to come back to Chelsea, which means that if he comes to Chelsea and it works, we buy him. But what is the buy option and what is the total amount that we're looking to pay for him at the end of it? We need to find out what this is. This is what we need to know, guys. What is the buy option? How much is it? It'd be interesting to know. I'm sure Fabrizio Romano will be releasing that very, very soon. Let's listen and read your thoughts in the chat as well on this breaking news as well. Sal is defo leaving Atletico. Fab just tweeted. Yeah, I've just seen it. Sal, I always miss your chats. Igal says stays running from Gem. He does, bruv. He runs. He's scared. Option of 30 to 34 million. Is that correct, Josh? Josh, let me know in the chat. Where are you getting this? Where is this? Can someone tell me who said this, please? Someone tell me who said this. Let me know in the chat. 73 of you here. Are we at 50 likes yet? Are we at 50 likes yet? 46. 4 more likes. The link gets released in the chat. You guys, I want your thoughts and opinions on this Sal talk, on this Sal chat, but I can't do that until you guys get us to another 4 more likes, and then you guys can come in and have your say. Where are we seeing this, people? Where have you read it, though? Where have you read it? Is it Nizar? Let's have a look. Is it Nizar Kinsella? Nizar Kinsella. I hate trying to write this guy's name in. There he is. Let's have a look, shall we? Thoughts on Saul Niguez to Chelsea. I can't see Conte on Cocaine and Chelsea on sale. Here we go. Yeah. So Kinsella. Let's switch this news quickly. This was 2 hours ago. Let's switch it. More news coming out on Saul Niguez, guys. Let's have a look. Nizar Kinsella has now come out and said Chelsea on sale. He's been offered to the club on loan. Possible option to buy at around 34 to 40 million euros. Athletic friendly with CFC and want to clear space for Kounde, who they're bringing in. However, move would send a bad message to current Chelsea players. What does he mean by that? What does that mean at the end? Why would that send a bad message? Can someone answer that in the chat? Why would that send a bad message from what Nizar's saying there? I wonder. Come on, people. 3 more likes. 3 more likes. Let's have a look. We must be on 3 more likes. It's, 74 of you here? We're at 50. We are at the 50 mark, which means you guys can come in and have your say. Link is in the chat. Come and get involved, guys. Let's talk Saul Niguez. Let's talk Kounde. Let's talk. The link is in the chat. Subscribe if you're new to GNA TV. The breaking news, like I just said to you, is at the bottom here. As you can see, Sal is set to leave Athletic. That's the Fabrizio Romano comment, which is what I'm showing at the bottom there. And I've just brought up Nizar Kinsella's comment in terms of what that that buy option is, which is working around 35 to 40 million. Possible option to buy from Atletico Madrid. They are friendly with us and they want to clear space for Kounde. However, move would send a bad message to Chelsea players. Why would this send a bad message to Chelsea players? My question to you guys in the chat. Why would this be a bad message? Why would this be a bad message, Josh? Do we know?
I mean, it just says that they're looking to improve the squad. I don't think that's a bad message. It just means you quite weren't what Tuchel was looking for.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's a bad message. That's just an ambitious message, in my opinion.
Is it a bad message for the like you said there, maybe the people that can't get in, like the Rubens, the Ampadus, that they've all just failed, basically, would you say?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to look, too, like, what position is he bringing him in to play? He's bringing him in to play, like, a backup to George kind of role, and if he doesn't think Ruben or Ampadu could do that role, then he's going to have to look elsewhere. I love Ruben, but we don't really play with a traditional 8 in our setup, so there's not a lot of room for him in the roster. And if you can improve the squad, and I think Sal probably does improve the squad, they're gonna look to do that.
Trap, can you hear me?
Yes, mate. Go on.
Yeah. I think like what Josh said, that's probably true. He's coming in. Is if you look in our squad, we don't have anyone to back up Jorginho. So yeah. I think he's coming in. Maybe he's happy to be 4th choice. That's another question. Is Saul Niguez happy to start off as 4th choice? And obviously, over time, he'll fight off for his position. But yeah, Ruben is. Even when I watch, do you remember the Bournemouth game and the Arsenal game in Preseason? He just doesn't look. It just doesn't. It's just not the same, is it?
It's not the same, yeah.
Better competing with Mount and Ziyech, because I can't see him in a 6-6, and obviously he's not on the same level as them two. So, do we think
that if Man United come in and offer the same as what Chelsea have offered, which is the loan and obviously the option to buy, which is supposedly 34 to 40 odd million, we don't know yet. We're waiting for confirmation. Who do you think he's going to? Who do you think out of the two?
Playing time. I think at Chelsea, he needs to be, because Tuchel has so much trust in those three. He always referred to them as the best midfield in the world. So when he comes in, he needs to understand his position. He play week in and week out. At United, that's why I don't want United to go for him, because at United, he walks into that team. So it's up to him. I think he might come to us. Maybe the thought of living in London, from Madrid to London, maybe doesn't want to live in Manchester, or the salary. Again, in terms of playing time, I doubt that it will be first choice like the first week. No. You probably take time.
Yeah. This is one of those positions, Jim, where like I honestly don't really care if he went to United. Like I feel like there's so many good options here for us. Like if he decided to go to United, like Tchouameni or Camavinga are both. They're just younger. The only difference I think Tuchel's looking at is like Sal is in the prime of his career. He's 26. He could come straight in and he's got experience and he can. He doesn't. There won't be as much of an adaptation period for him. Whereas like Tchouameni's 21, Camavinga's 18 or 19. Like those guys would take a little bit more, maturing to sort of take a role.
I think Chelsea and Man City to play in those two midfield is probably the toughest job. Even they asked in last press conference, they asked him about Chalobah, if he sees Chalobah playing midfield. The way he was explaining how he sees a midfield, I think playing in the Chelsea midfield is a bit more complex. So a kid like Camavinga, although he's good at run, but coming and playing in our midfield in a double six is not as easy as just put him in, he'll pass the ball around. No.
Well, that's just my thing, Roderick. Can he come to Chelsea and do that job? Can he play the way Tuchel wants him to play? That's what I'm trying to understand, because I'm not 100% sure on this.
Yeah. I've watched a bit of Atletico. Yes, he can. Obviously, I don't know if he's an update on Kovacic. I think though, but he has a bit more final ball. Maybe he can hit the better than Kovacic. But
I'd say in terms of like offensively and progressively, he would be our best midfielder, if I'm being perfectly honest. Kovacic offers absolutely nothing in the way of a shot or a final third ball. George doesn't play final third balls. He's really just kind of he gets play going. But as far as that goes, he would be our best attacking midfielder.
Yeah, but I wanted a midfielder to sit, someone who can replace Jorginho.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Maybe Tuchel sees something in Saul that will allow him to sit, because we don't have anyone who can actually sit and dictate the play if Jorginho's not playing.
Yeah, and can Sal not do that? Is that? I mean, I've watched him enough where he can move the ball.
He wasn't the guy sitting. He was the guy dictating. They have.
Is he not? Is he not more? Yeah, but is he not more of a When I look at Sal, I always think he's more of like a number 8, more than a sitting 6. Do you know what I mean? Like, can he do the sitting in front of the defense, hard work? Can a Jorginho Kovacic start? I don't know.
Okay. So Koke is the one that sits and dictate the play from the defense. But I personally wanted us to sign a veteran, someone in his 30s, someone who's happy to come and sit on a bench, but from time to time and contribute. So that doesn't.
I get that, and obviously the loan thing works. It just depends on his wages, right? We don't know what his wages are going to be yet, so we'll wait for that as well. Big up to Daniel, because he's saying, can you bring up the latest on Kounde? There's not much really going on with Kounde, mate, to be honest, other than from what we know. The personal terms have been agreed with Chelsea and Kounde themselves. Kounde's not looking to push himself out of leaving Sevilla. However, we know that he wants to be a Chelsea player. I think it's more Chelsea just trying to find or agree someone with Zuma. Once we can get Zuma's personal terms agreed and he's happy to move, then I think you'll see the Kounde deal pick up quickly. I think Chelsea have already done that. I think even the fee for Sevilla of what they want is done as well. I just think it's Chelsea more so with the Zuma thing. So we'll just have to see how that plays out in the upcoming days as well.
When you think of it, we actually need Kounde. Like we 100% need Kounde.
I keep telling people.
If you look,
Yeah.
we don't have anyone who can play left centre back. We don't have our squad. Like we can play
Exactly.
left centre back. We play Zuma there. He's not really the best. Or Christensen. Christensen is more of a right centre half. So
he can also play in the centre back as well, as the middle of the centre back as well. So, it gives us versatility, and that's why I said it's so important. But we have got Hassan here, we have got declared here as well. Guys, Saul Niguez, purportedly Chelsea have offered the loan with the option to buy. What are your thoughts on this deal?
Jim, how you doing, mate?
Not bad. How you been?
Congrats.
You all right?
Yeah,
Thank you,
good,
mate.
good. I was going to ask, who pulled up that other tweet you had up? Who had that up about asking? You saying it might upset the players? Is that what he said?
We can go back. Yeah.
You notice a little theme when people put that in. When they don't want that transfer in, when they don't like that transfer, they start to talk about wage structures and other players might get upset. But the thing about Saul is that Atletico are desperate to get rid of him, and he's a good deal. He's versatile.
Why are they desperate though? Why?
Because the wage structure. The same reason Barcelona were trying to fit Messi in. They got a wage limit. They have to fit him in, and he's on decent wages. And he solves the problem. So he's going to be a decent wages, but his wage structure. His transfer fee is going to be pretty low. And so, as for a player, and he probably hasn't been the best, but he was really good. He's so versatile. He can play. I reckon he can play any of the 6 roles and any of the front 3 if you need him to do a certain role. And it's just another tool for Tuchel to play with. So I think that's the appealing bit, that he can cover more positions. And sometime, when you take a man off and you put Pulisic or Ziyech on, they're a bit more winger types, but maybe he needs someone that's a bit more similar to Mount and Havertz, and you can put Sal there. Yeah, and I think that's how he fits. So I think he's going to be just a bargain buy or a loan in this case.
His price is right in that range of Camavinga and Tchouameni too. It's in the 30 to 35 to 40. They're all within the same price region. So.
I felt like Tchouameni might be a lot more because he'd be more high ceiling.
What would be your option then, guys? Tchouameni or Sal? What would be the better option for Chelsea to sign?
Well, this is how I saw it, Jim. I didn't think we were going to get anyone. Sorry, Josh. I didn't think we were going to get anyone. And you're talking about covering for, Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante, really. And if we get Tchouameni and he doesn't play as much, I see that as a kind of a bad move. And then what are you buying for next season, the seasons after? If we just need someone to fill up gaps, then Sol's the man. But if Tchouameni's going to start and play a bigger role, then Tchouameni. But to sit on the bench, I think that's probably not the best move.
Yeah, I agree. I think for this season, the way this team is built, we're built to win right now. You bring in a guy more experienced like Stout. If we were playing for the future, Camavinga or Tchouameni would be the 2 guys that you look at. But as presently built, this team is built to win. So you want somebody with a little bit more experience, somebody who's in their prime. He's a left-footed midfielder too, which we don't have. So I think for this team as built right now, he would be, I think, the better option.
Yeah, I do hear that. Hassan, what you saying, my bro? You haven't said much.
I was going to say that Saul Niguez is probably the more safer option because he's more experienced compared to Tchouameni. And I feel like club's decision is to go for Tchouameni later on or maybe like next year. And to be honest, I don't see like a player like Tchouameni starting big games compared to like Kante. He'll just be... I feel like if we get Tchouameni, we'll be overplaying Kante quite a bit. But with Saul, we can rotate whenever we need to. Yeah. And to be honest, if we do get him on loan, I don't see him probably starting week in, week out until December. Like, he'll be rotated quite a bit. But once it hits December, that's when you're gonna see a lot of rotations. And to be honest, like he's perfect. I feel like he's perfect for us. And it's a loan move. It's not like we paid transfer money. Like there's no guarantee. Like if Saul doesn't work out here, he's gonna go back to his club anyway. But let's say if we bought Camavinga or a Tchouameni, I know it's probably first season, but if they don't work out, if they turn out to be a Bakayoko, then it's gonna be a bit of a problem. I feel like
Can I ask? Do you
Saul's
think,
gonna be the safe one.
it's up for the panel. Do you think that the club might be tapped out cash wise? I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but like if Kounde is going to come in for a big price move, and then Saul being a loan is more appealing than actually getting Tchouameni on a transfer fee, maybe the club didn't want to spend a certain amount this season.
I feel
think-
like the club
Yeah.
is going to a certain profile.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter whoever. Yeah.
I think they're looking more at the maybe like you said there, the risk element of it as well. You know, maybe they think spending 30 million with wages and whatever on Tchouameni is more of a risk in the long run than just signing someone on loan who we could potentially have the option to buy. If he flops and he doesn't work, at least we can just wipe him off our books. But if you sign a Tchouameni, you can't do that, you know, and potentially there might be a worry of like a Bakayoko 2.0. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm not saying he will be, don't get me wrong, but I think maybe Chelsea are trying to step a little bit more carefully in how they bring in. Obviously, Saul Niguez is a winner, isn't he? He's just gone and won the Spanish league over there as well. He knows he's played in Champions League top levels. You know, he's a top player. He plays for his club, his country as well. So, you know, it makes a lot of sense why they would, if he's available, why Chelsea would want to bring someone of his quality to the football club. You know, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think money is an issue at all. Like we net spend still right now is like £1 million or whatever. It's insane how our net spend is set up right now. We still have another probably 4 or 5 players to go out.
We're in a profit currently. I think we're about 20 million profit so far.
And we
So we're fine P wise. But I feel like Chelsea will be a lot careful because I feel like the reason why they're getting a lot of Deadwood away, because I read a report, and the latest report on FFP is they might bring salary caps for all the top 5 leagues. So it's basically, I feel like the FFP is literally there just to help out Barca and Real Madrid and all that. Then they're doing it based on that situation. So I think Chelsea this season are just going to clear out the Deadwoods, bring in probably a couple of players and bring in a loan like Saul. And then when FFP becomes a lot more clearer, then I think Chelsea will go in again.
Fair enough. I hear you on that. We've got Football Star with us and we've got KO Sports with us as well, guys. How you doing? You all right?
I'm right. How about you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. What are your thoughts on the sale to Chelsea? Obviously, Kounde looks like it's nearly there as well. I mean, overall, do you not feel like Chelsea are having, if they pull this off as well, we're having a very good sort of transfer window?
To be honest, now I'm thinking about Ampadu and Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley right now in this position. I think he's a good signing as a backup, not like every time playing like matches. To be honest, like he could replace Kova, but Kova should be starting in case of any injuries or anything. He could be the starter. But from what I see in the Fabrizio tweet, I think he will come to Chelsea. From how he explained it, because they said bid now on the table, like. But then he didn't say anything about Manchester United, like they have now like advanced talk or like. But they say in the list of Camavinga. So I think more closely in how I read it, like Chelsea will have him like in our club as a backup. So this means that Ahmed will go to loan. Loftus-Cheek maybe he loan or sell, and Ross Barkley will sell him. And this is how it is like now. Like he, as if Chucho want him, then bring him, because he know how to work with him, with Saul. To be honest.
Yeah,
and I think it's very good.
Yeah, and again, I keep saying to people, it's not a bad thing. Chelsea strengthening in these areas is making us more prepared going into this season on trying to go and win titles, right? Because we know Tuchel likes to rotate his
Yes.
squads, don't always play the same
Yeah.
scheme.
And
So
I was
Go on,
gonna
mate.
add to that point, right? That our ambition is to go as far as we can in the Champions League this season, as well as win a league title. But I'm saying in general, if you want to win like a Premier League and the Champions League, or maybe even a treble, you need a strong bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys,
Like,
can I
look at-
just add?
If you look at like Barcelona, prime example, Barcelona, right? They had Thierry Henry on the bench. They had like ridiculous players on the bench. That's why they went out with treble and stuff. We need.
Yeah,
But guys,
guys,
Go on.
sorry.
can
Go
I
on, mate.
just? Oh, okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Can I
Hey,
just
mate.
add that I've been watching Tchouameni
Thanks,
recently.
Josh.
I don't know if you guys saw the
Yeah.
Monaco versus
Yes.
Shakhtar Donetsk game. But one of the elements of his game that I noticed is that he takes shots from outside of the box. And I'm just considering how that will change Chelsea tactically. We are aware of the ability of Lukaku recently coming in and having the ability to draw defenders out from the back. One of the elements that we lack as Chelsea, I think, is that we don't have enough players taking the shot from outside of the box. Not to say that the Mounts can't do it. It's just that we don't do it that often. And seeing Tchouameni take 3 shots in one game from outside of the box, it's something that actually intrigued me because I'm thinking that should we have someone that can take shots from outside of the box?
Saul
Yeah, that's Saul. That's Saul. That's Saul.
as well.
Is that
It's
but
the
you know,
something
same
as
thing.
well?
Saul
if
shoots, yeah.
if Tchouameni comes in this team, he's not going to have that as much opportunities as you think, right? In a position that he's going to play, and like you just said, Mount doesn't even get a lot of those opportunities, and Havertz as well. They should probably take some more shots, but every team has a low block on us, and positional wise, he's going to sit more back than he does. He's not going to get that much permission to move up forward if you want him to play in Jorginho's position.
Mm.
But guys, to be honest about Tchouameni topic, it will not happen this summer. Just forget about it.
Yeah, there's no links. Well, look, we've got Saul link
Like
here,
there's
but there's no
nothing.
Tchouameni
There's no
link.
advance. Also, Fabrizio said that there's no advance. Like also,
Yeah.
like why do we talk about it every time? Like I don't
No,
think it will.
People still want him.
It's
No, it's
ongoing,
because-
ongoing.
It's
Hey,
because
Tchouameni's going to
journalists,
be still available next season.
Yeah,
journalists
season we
keep,
think about it.
they keep recycling that content, but the club
Yeah,
has
yeah.
made it clear they're not going to go for him until probably next year.
Yeah, like
Hey, they only
just
got a week
forget.
left of transfer window. They have to
Yeah.
milk it as much as they can.
Yeah, I don't think, but we might could get Kounde and Nagelsmann. So
Yeah, I
think
agree.
we'll get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby says, guys, Niguez or Tchouameni, which one? I'll tell you what, Bobby, yeah, and this is the way I see it with this, right? Chelsea obviously got the profile of Chelsea at the moment and the way we're moving. You'd think that we'd rather go for a Tchouameni. I know that Niguez is 26, is he 27 of that age, is in his prime at the moment, and it makes sense. But if you look at the way Chelsea are moving at the moment in terms of the profile of players that they're trying to bring, and I think they're trying to build for the future. So Tchouameni would make a lot of sense. However, I think the fact that we're looking at Niguez, Saul Niguez, is more of a now thing, being able to challenge, being able to compete. For now, you've got the option for him to go back if he doesn't succeed at Chelsea as well. So again, he will just go without us having to buy him. If he does well and he wants to stay at Chelsea, a bit like the Kovacic situation, then we've got the option to buy, you know. So I understand why Chelsea would look at both, you know, and I wouldn't be annoyed if we signed a player like Saul Niguez to the club, because I think there's a lot of sense in doing so, you know. So I think we just have to see and back whatever it is that Tuchel believes he thinks is best for the team. What I would say is that we do need another midfielder anyway. We all agree that we're very light in midfield, and I don't think Barkley, I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I don't think any of these individuals are players that are ready to step up and play in that position. That's my feeling on it anyway. But Fatah's with us as well. What are you saying, Fatah?
Yeah, I feel like potentially Saul Niguez on loan might be a weird one, because I think he's a fourth choice midfielder. What happened in Atletico, I've heard a couple of things that he's so miserable out there under Diego Simeone. He hasn't playing that much. He hasn't got a lot of game time. It'll be obligation to buy. It's a move because if he does well, we want to keep him like we did with Culver and Gilmore. And well, technically Gilmore may return next year, so it's great to have an option. So Saul isn't that old as well. Hold on. He's
And,
like 26, and also people think that he's a different profile. But
I think
I still believe that if Saul comes, might be a 2.0, but I can guarantee he won't start for Chelsea because there's so many competition in that midfield.
Yeah.
I think he has a higher chance of winning trophies at Chelsea if he does come to Chelsea. But but if he wants to play, I think it's better off playing with Man United than Chelsea.
Okay.
It will be complicated next season. It will be complicated about the midfield situation.
In the same sense, Fata, that
guys,
he could be a 2.0, but he can also be the also. And if Tuchel gets the best out of him, then he could be one of our best players in a weird way, and it'll be real headache choice if he starts to perform, because he has shown to be one of the great players. And it could be just what you said, that he was probably miserable, maybe doesn't like his role, and he could probably shine under a different role that he's been playing. So Tuchel could get the best out of him, and then he could be one of the best players.
I cannot guarantee his game time, but I can guarantee if he comes to Chelsea, he'll win some trophies for sure.
Well, Ashley Lewis is
But he
very
can go up the
confident
pecking order. Yeah,
he's very like Saul. If he takes his chances, will walk into the Chelsea team. Very underrated player. He thinks he walks into the team if he turns up. So who's he benching actually? Like who does he play next to? Saul Niguez comes to Chelsea. Who is the best individual to play next to him? I want to know that.
But Jem, it's a right midfielder as well. To be fair, it's a right midfielder as well. Don't forget that if we put him under Thomas Tuchel's system, he can play as a right wing back as well.
Could he play a right wing? I don't know. Can he?
Well, he has played
left wing back.
Yeah.
Because he's maybe
he's that versatile, man.
He's left-footed.
Yeah.
Can I just say, before we consider who he plays against, the one positive element that Saul brings is that he knows what it is to win. Just won the La Liga recently, and with a squad like ours, where we are at the moment, we're increasing the winning mentality by winning the Champions League just recently, the Super Cup, and then having players that have gone to the final of the Euros, and also some of them winning the Euros. We're breeding winners, and that is something that we had with Chelsea previously in the Drogba and the Lampard days. So that quality of coming in, knowing what it is to win, that is something that is key to a team success. Who he plays with, that is one thing that I don't know, because over the weekend I noticed that Kovacic wasn't getting a lot of plaudits for what he was doing in the game. I saw like one stat that proved like he had like 96 successful passes, and he was the one that was giving the key passes prior to the goal. The first goal being scored, or the first goal being scored by Lukaku. So it's difficult. I don't know who comes out of the team, because I see our main three, Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante. I see the quality that each of them bring in different games. Where Saul comes in, maybe you guys that have seen him play more than what I have done, could help me on that.
There's no way he's gonna play alongside Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho. Maybe at least chance of you, but I just can't see it at Chelsea. To be quite honest with you, I really can't, because we're gonna play a back three for the most of the season, and like Jem says, is he gonna excel in the back three playing as a right midfielder? Yes, he's a left footer, but is he that type of player? I'm not sure, but I don't know about partner Kante. It's a bit tough to ask for, because Kante is a box to box though. Technically.
Can I just ask one question? I know we haven't done it under Tuchel, but there was a lot of talk of potentially changing formation. How do you guys feel about the change in formation to possibly a back four?
We're not gonna.
No,
we haven't
we're
done
not.
it yet, so
No. on that happen. Just forget
Never
about
done.
it.
I don't think
Fatu,
we'll change
where he can fit it, right? He can in the front three. He can make it a 2 and put one in the midfield to put an extra midfielder. He can tweak a little bit like that. But in the weird sense, you guys brought it up. He's a left-footed midfielder,
Yeah.
and we just sold Emerson. And you said you guys maybe he can play wing back. Could it be an interesting move for left wing back since we're going to be light there with only 2 players in that position?
We're not. We
No. I have a low suggestion.
Yeah, but I'm saying Saul as multiple positions. If he can always pull a left wing back and he can pull a midfield and he can also play in front of the 3 as well, this guy is the ultimate depth player because he can play. His versatility is going to make him play so many roles.
About this,
I can tell you this. The reason. Wait, hold on.
Everybody's talking about this guy. See, maybe because sometimes when you're not playing the team doesn't mean maybe you're not good at player, you're not a good player. And when you see this guy play, so if you watch his ball very well, like 2 seasons ago, the way he plays ball is different. Even Man City was going for this guy last 2 seasons. A lot of people want Saul, But for me, coming to Chelsea
at 22, he was one of the best young players, man.
Yeah. For me, coming to Chelsea is going to like elevate his game because one, you are playing along with good players. Sometimes Giorgio is not going to play every match. Sometimes he needs rest. So I think Giorgio will need rest in some matches. So he will come in and showcase his ability. And about the guy, the Monaco guy, I think I'm watching this night because if they don't qualify for Champions League this night, there's a chance for them to catch him. Because if they fail to qualify for Champions League this night, I think there is a possibility for them to catch him.
I don't think so.
So the chance of him is going to Chelsea. I think this night will determine it. You understand?
It's too late for that. I think.
No, it's not about what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not about if you will sign the guy, he will come to Chelsea this season. Chelsea can easily sign like they did with Christian Pulisic or Hakim. They can easily sign the guy and load him back to Monaco.
Guys, before we move forward, guys, 2 seconds. There's 150 people here right now. Make sure you smash the like button. I need to get to 100 likes. We're on 75 at the moment, so we're 25 away from doing that. Also, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new to GNA TV. The link will be in the chat again for you guys to come in and have your say because I know we've got so many new people coming in at the moment. We've got Nick in here. We've got Lionel here as well. Big up to them. And I want to get
I'll jump out and let some people on as well, man. In a bit.
All right. All right. Peace. See you later.
Peace.
What's the point of signing Tchouameni and loaning him out? We need someone in now.
Yeah.
Off choice. I don't see.
I think I think you're right. It could be as simple as that. We need a player, and Saul Niguez, if he's going to be a bargain because of how desperate Atletico sound like they want to be, right? And to fill a spot that we want, it's going to be cheap because I actually believe Tchouameni prices, the ones we quoted, are going to be higher because there are a few clubs sniffing around him. So it doesn't like everyone is for Saul, but they're in for the bargain.
I hear that. I just want to read out some of these chats before you carry on. Some guys, I think this is from Bobby. He says some guys are thinking too short term. So much rotation to be had this season at Chelsea with injuries and suspensions over so many games. Don't worry about Sal playing. And Bobby's actually joined us as well. Daniel says Sal is rotational piece. That's it. No need to hype him. He's a placeholder for Rice/Tchouameni or whatever his name is. So he thinks that he's just being brought into as backup until we actually get the real deals, which is the younger players in Rice and Tchouameni. I mean, do you agree with that? Any of you? I know Nick says.
It kind of depends on his performance because if he comes in, let's say he hits the ground running for the whole year, and let's say we do win a Premier League with him, or we win a Premier League and Club World Cup with him, I think he might stay, depending on his performance and depending on the price.
Yeah, I could see that, right? But my problem with Saul getting him in, where will he lie on that midfielder pecking order, right? Obviously, we want Kante as number one. Then we have Jorginho as his partner in crime. Then Kovacic. Is he willing to play fourth choice? Be that rotational man? I think
he would, considering we're in every single competition this year. We're going to play almost
he's a big player.
70.
He's a starter at the top team in La Liga. I don't think he'll want that. He wants to play games.
For top team, but I think he's looking at it like this, right? it's a weird one because he's probably going to come in knowing that this team's going to be champions of Europe. He knows that the midfield pair that's going to be in front of him are the best in the world, and he has to elevate his performance to break in that squad, to break in that midfield three.
Yeah, I think
he knows. He's a stupid. He knows if he comes to Chelsea, he has to fight.
Exactly. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he will have to obviously elevate his game to compete with like Jorginho and Kante and even Kovacic in parts. But the other thing that I do think about it is
Kovacic, you know, Kovacic don't get respect he deserves in Chelsea. That is my problem. I think he's one of the best midfield in that Chelsea. For me, Kovacic is the best midfield in that Chelsea setup. If you look the way he plays his game, sometimes Kovacic play. I think maybe his Hazard is playing the game because he can move the ball. He's very good in what he's doing. That is why sometimes there's Kovacic is like a player like John Mikel Obi. When Mikel was in Chelsea, nobody rated him, you know, but now people see the what Mikel is doing in Chelsea. But for me, I think Kovacic each season is going to play a lot of games this season because most times Conte is not going to play every game. So let's know we'll have some difficult matches so you cannot bring in N'Golo Conte. So for me, this guy is going to get a lot of chance next coming this season because Jorginho need to rest. You know, the guy have played a lot of match.
Yeah, I hear that.
I think
a few games, so it'll be fine.
I think this whole thing it will be done because it's easy with Chelsea about this, but the next topic about Kounde and Zuma, it's complicated about Zuma, why he's taking so long.
I don't know why Zuma is making the team so long.
Hasn't the fee been agreed with West Ham, but personal terms?
Yeah,
already. He wants more money.
I don't think he has a future.
Yeah.
Like in Chelsea.
No, he don't. But listen, the thing with Zuma is that we can't offload him until he physically agrees that he wants to go to whoever it is he wants to go. And I think with the Kounde deal, it's always been of that the personal terms are agreed. They made it probably very clear very early that Zuma either would have wanted Zuma, but Zuma didn't want them. And then it was down to Chelsea to negotiate a fee for Kounde. That leaves the problem we got is we can't bring in a Kounde until we can actually offload a Zuma. And Zuma, by the looks of it, wants to stay in England. So West Ham being the ones have to lay down a certain amount of wages to make him happy, right? And I know their highest paid player there was only I think 80 or 90,000 pounds, and that was Declan Rice. I don't know if they've changed now. So I don't know, you know, if that's why it's being delayed.
They offered him 100 million. I don't know, 100 million. But then
100 million. I think that's a bit much, boss man.
No. Sorry.
You probably get confused with this transfer.
100,000, but he said he wanted 120 something.
120,000 euros or something like that.
Like why? He's just.
I listened to the Straight Outta Cobham podcast by The Athletic. I can't remember who said that. I think it was Liam Toomey. I think he wants over £120,000 Zuma on his wages, and it's whether West Ham are willing to pay.
That's what I was saying.
It's very good. It's very good right now because he's like in Premier League club, like to be honest.
For me, if I happen to be Zuma, I will take any deal. Then insert a clause that if I play more better, you understand, you are going to increase my salary. If you want to get that league, you want to get that move, so I just like insert some clause inside the deal.
Guys, I want to get Bobby's thoughts because he's not spoken yet. But we are 230 people in the chat right now. Please get us to 100 likes, guys. Man, there's 88 likes. We're literally 12 away from 100 likes. There's 220 of you. We should be on our way to 150 likes now, guys. Please make sure that you can do that. Smash it. Subscribe to the channel. We're on our road to 2.5k. I can't do that without you guys actually showing support to the channel as well, which we massively appreciate. But Bobby, what you saying, my guy? You all right?
Hey, afternoon, guys. I'm up to my eyeballs in work, but I was watching you, and I thought I've got to jump in if I can and lend some of my thoughts. But you've kind of, I was doing the gentleman bit, staying quiet in the background, waiting for an invite to come and talk, but kind of moved on from what I was about to say about Saul Niguez. Well, going back to that, guys, sorry to draw you back, but to me, this Niguez deal smells of another Chelsea masterstroke. It really does. I mean, getting a guy like that, I don't know too much about him, I've got to confess, but from what I've heard, getting a guy like that in on loan is
probably perfect and sets us up nicely for a permanent deal for the likes of Declan Rice or Tchouameni next season, which looks more likely to happen then than now. And it's also a situation where he's coming to have to prove himself. I don't know why, guys get all bogged down in, when's he going to play? We're past that at Chelsea. We're now in the super club class. We have so many games. There is enough games for this guy to come in. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be suspensions. He's coming to play for Chelsea. Chelsea's not playing for him. So if he signs pen to paper to come here, he knows what to expect. I am a firm believer in that fourth midfielder. We've got 3 good midfielders, but they're prone to injury sometimes. There will be suspensions. There's more games to play this season. We should welcome him if the deal happens. It's a good deal.
Can I just add off that? My only other issue maybe with the Saul thing from his perspective, right? With his options in England, it's most likely us or Manchester United. Now,
United
with
can't have
Manchester,
him because they've got far too many midfielders. United
but he walks.
They get Van de Beek. They get Van de Beek.
The point is, Saul will overtake that Fred slot in the bank of 2 that they play in the 4-2-3-1, right? So his partner
Definitely, I
would
agree with
be
that.
Yeah, so basically it'll be Bruno, Pogba, and Saul. Whereas he's not a guaranteed starter, and I get that he'll get game time still at Chelsea, but in United he will get more minutes. So I think it's whether up to him if he wants to come fight for his place or just walk into a team. That's my only other issue maybe with the Saul thing from his perspective. If he wants to just come in and get the most minutes he can, or improve himself, fight for his place, and maybe win more trophies too. So you never know.
But Manchester United
I agree with that.
You're
quite right. I agree with that. My take on it is, well, if he wants to join mediocrity, there's the door. If he wants to join the real deal and go for it and show his quality, welcome to Chelsea. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But he might be thinking of his place in the Spanish national team. So maybe
I don't care.
He want to play more.
Nah, but surely, did he play in the Euros or no?
No,
What was the midfield 3?
It had Koke and what's this guy from Barcelona? Pedri and the guy from Barcelona. What's his? Busquets. Yeah.
Okay.
Even when Busquets was injured, I don't think he played.
Exactly.
So he might want to go somewhere where he can prove to Luis and Enrique that he can still contribute to the national team. I would be happy for us, but I don't know.
From how I see it, he will come to Chelsea.
Do you think it'd be a loan or would it be a upfront fee?
It's a loan.
Loan.
It's a loan with the option to buy. So if he does do well,
what would that fee be around?
40.
Like
probably
40.
Same as
I think
35.
that could be a steal, honestly. Like
Camavinga is 35 million to be honest.
Yeah, but Saul is an established player. He's just come off the back of winning the Liga. He's been to multiple Champions League finals. He's been at the top of the game. He can bring that to the squad. And if we can get him in for 30 mil, that is a steal today. Considering Ben Scheidt went for 50 mil and he's never been around any trophies.
No, but it really depends on his performance.
We might get next season Declan Rice. We just get him.
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I understand the whole contractual situation with Rice, but I mean, if West Ham come in and back David Moyes, then it could be an appealing potential for him to stay. I know.
At the end of the day, right? I was gonna say, right? Sorry for interrupting there. Like with the whole Declan Rice situation, we know that Declan Rice has got 3 years left for his contract with the option to extend. He's going to have a 4-year contract anyway. Let's say if we do buy Saul will be 30 by the time, let's say, Declan Rice runs down his contract or he's got 1 year left. Saul will be at the point where he's going to be declining. So, at the end of the day...
How old is
at the end of the day, if let's say, right, if Chelsea do want Rice ain't going to leave West Ham for another, 2 to 3 years. So I feel like we should look for a player like Saul if he does turn up. If he does turn up and plays well, the 35 is going to be steal. But anyway, Jem, I'm going to drop out and let's...
No worries, bro. Thank you for coming on, mate.
That's all I was going to say.
No worries, mate. No worries. Guys, thank you, Hassan, for coming on as well. We do have a question from Robertson, which we're going to touch on too. We're on 270 live viewers right now. Let's get to 150 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. We've also brought in Own Lane GAS as well. Robinson, how you doing, mate? You all right? You good?
Yeah.
Good. Robinson Canby says, what does the panel think about Saul at left wing back? He has the traits to play there. Do we think he's... Where do we see him fitting in? And is he...
Next to Kante. Next to Kante. I think he's a deep-lying playmaker. You know,
can he play next to a Kovacic and a Jorginho as well, or is it just a Kante that we're saying?
Well, I think he could work with Jorginho. You know, I do think he's quite flexible. You know, if he can play at left wing back, you know, I think he can play anywhere in the midfield at the end of the day. And one thing's Tuchel's shown, you know, he can work wonders with players positionally, right? But I don't think we bring him in necessarily to fill that left wing back role, because we bought Chilwell in last summer for big money, for 50 mil. Plus we still have Alonso. So that's, well, three top tier left backs then. So it's like, what's the point then? Maybe if there's an injury crisis, I think he'd be definitely viable, but I think he's been brought in to compete in that midfield slot, you know?
Yeah.
So
one thing I want to add to that is that he plays defensive midfield for Atletico and Spain, so I don't know why he would play left wing back for us all of a sudden. So...
I'm pretty sure he played fullback against us in the Champions League when we played them. I'm pretty sure he actually played fullback, if I'm mistaken. Actually, if maybe it's worth checking those teams out. But I did think he did play left wing back or right wing back. Can't remember.
Defensive I don't think he's your typical sitting defensive midfielder. He's more of a box to box. So that's what I'm thinking.
If we get Saul, what happens to Billy Gilmore though?
Then we Gilmore and Gallagher are gone. if
I don't think Gilmore's gone. I don't think he is.
I think Gallagher's gone.
Saul is like in loan, not like option. Like, we're gonna buy him. Yeah, like
Gilmore's not comes
in.
Gilmore's too good to let go, man.
We ain't letting Gilmore go.
The club will do it. That's the thing.
He will come. He will come next season.
History has shown us one thing: is that we let too many good academy players go. Look at just Tino Livramento. You know, I know it's only one game, but he.
I think Gilmore's different though.
We can get Livramento back.
I know. We got
a low buyback clause in him, which was a clever bit of negotiating skills again from our side of things that we have to bear in mind as well. Billy Gilmore will. I think he will stay. I don't see us bringing in Saul and him being gone. I think he's just not. He's not the player for now. Still very young, still very raw. You know, he needs time, needs experience. That's why we've sent him off to become a player that hopefully we expect him to come. Then he can come back to Chelsea and start competing with the players that we currently have. But he can't do that at the moment, you know. So I get why we're doing that with him. But we'll have to see. We really will have to see. Hudson-Odoi, again, another talent that needs to be given a lot of game time. With us in 5 competitions, he will get that. The fact that Thomas Tuchel rates him too, who will play. I just hope fans do to get on his case. Don't get on his case, is what he's saying. Billy Gilmore will get in the Chelsea team, is what Chelsea fans saying. Sal, if he's coming, as I see him, this versatility thing is a dream. That's what Preston is saying. Billy will be Chelsea future captain. Mark my words, is what actually Lewis is saying. So, you know, there's a lot of people.
He's an Iniesta player.
Little mini Iniesta in many ways. Yeah. We've got Own Lane here. Own Lane, what do you want to say, mate?
In regards to last season, we had Billy Gilmore, Kovacic, and Jorginho, and obviously Kante. I feel like Saul will give us something different because Kovacic, Jorginho, and Gilmore, they are kind of like similar players in the fact that they love to be on the ball. I feel like we need another like aggressive player next to Kante, and I think Saul will offer that perfectly. But I think it's better to just have a loan because obviously I still want Loftus-Cheek to be given a chance. I'm still holding on to that because I love Loftus-Cheek.
I'm sorry, but that ship has sailed, bro. As much as it pains us to all say, that left 2 years. 2 years ago, man.
The guy's got no stamina. He can't. He's finished. The good thing he used to be good on the ball, passing the ball around. He can't even do that. I think he's done.
Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty underwhelming loan at Fulham. You know, Fulham are actually a decent team to watch under Scott Parker last year in the league. But He just,
Yeah, true.
I don't think he
Even
even started all the
Preseason.
games and stuff. Yeah.
He got
Well,
he had
the
COVID.
ball away too much. When you play deep, like when you play in Jorginho's position, you can't afford to give the ball away. Especially when we play, no way. You have to be good at the ball. You have to decision in split second. So I can't see him coming back. He's finished.
He's leaving.
Sad, man.
Actually, what drink
What about
water,
Ampadu?
play well.
Ahmed alone. He will go on loan, I think.
Yeah, he'll
If
become.
if
Well,
we
he
get
is part
if
of
we
the
get
loan
sold,
army.
if we get sold,
Yeah, Billy will be Chelsea's best future
Who else is there
midfielder.
still to ship out?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, you want to talk about players to ship out? We'll go through them. You've got Zappa Costa, you've got
Ross
Barkley,
Barkley,
you've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you've got
Baba
Baba
Rahman.
Rahman, you've got who else we got?
There's a
Ampadu.
guy. I don't.
Emerson, probably.
You've got Emerson, you know.
Emerson's gone.
There is a guy.
Emerson's gone, isn't he? Is he gone now?
Yeah, I swear Zappacosta's gone to Atlanta too on a permanent,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, he's in the process of going to Fiorentina.
Malang Sarr.
Oh, is it Fiorentina?
Malang, well, I don't think we'll get rid of him. I think we'll just keep loaning him until we realise that he's another Baba Rahman and probably sell him eventually. But I don't know. We'll have to see with that as well. There's a couple players that we can still sell.
We got them for free anyway.
We have 10 players, I think.
We've sold £93 million, maybe more now, worth of players already, and we've still got so many to get off the books. You might see that we don't sell. We might go to the opt to loan again and loan players out.
Bakayoko, I forgot.
Bakayoko,
he's got to go. He's got to go.
Why Chelsea didn't?
He has to go. He has to go.
Why is not selling them?
One said it's.
Yeah. Bakayoko, according to the reports, Bakayoko is set to move to AC Milan on a loan again.
Yeah. But they are trying to fix the price. It's a price they are trying to fix. Bakayoko is going to AC Milan. I don't think he's going to return to Chelsea. But the person that is going to go for sure is Barkley. He's leaving Chelsea because if you watch, Kovacic have that jersey number. So for Kovacic to take that jersey number means the guy is leaving for sure. You understand? So
Barkley's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, he's leaving.
I tell you, Barkley gone. Where's Barkley gone?
He'll move. Just maybe at the end of the transfer, he'll move.
Can I just say something? The problem we got, right, is we've got all these players, and I'm sure the board know that we need to sell these players. The problem we got is finding clubs that are going to pay these players wages. The wages that we are currently paying the Barkleys, the Baba Rahmans, and all these guys that they're getting on an annual basis is ridiculous. And that is the issue we've got at the moment. We can't get rid of these players because we can't find anyone to accommodate them for their wages unless they take a pay cut. If they're not going to take a pay cut, all they're going to end up doing is sitting on the books and running down their contracts. And that's the issue that we currently have.
Our Premier League 2 team stronger. That's on the bright side.
I mean, I think we should get rid of them, to be honest.
I tell you what, guys. To me, the what's more important right now is I get the Saul Niguez talks and Tchouameni Kounde talks, but I feel like what's more important for me is getting the Christensen and Rudiger deal over the.
We need Rudiger.
Especially Rudiger, that's been linked with Real Madrid and PSG. I don't know for what reason recently. Arguably, in my personal opinion, Rudiger has been our best defender under Tuchel thus far, and I feel like that's a more pressing issue.
I agree,
making sure that the guys we do have at the moment that we keep them and not lose them, especially guys like Rudiger and Christensen.
I totally
before
agree.
Looking to because I feel like we do have quality in all areas of the team at the moment.
I agree.
Do we really need a Saul?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
do we really need a Kounde?
No, I
we do need a Kounde. We do need a Kounde.
Why is that? I mean, have trust in Chalobah
because Thiago will leave.
No. Let me squash this now. I'm not. No. This is the one player that I will become defensive on. So this is something I will. Listen, the reason we bring Kounde. This is the thing, right? Chalobah, we need to get it in our heads. He is still young and he's still raw. Yes, he will get games. Tuchel rotates his systems, and he has done. And has done it throughout all of last seasons. The reason we bring in a Jules Kounde is not to just play as a right centre back. It's the versatility that he offers to play left centre-back, centre-back. If we get injuries at the back, we have cover. Zuma doesn't give us that because he can't play in them positions comfortable enough. So bringing in a Kounde makes a lot more sense if we can get rid of Zuma. Does that make sense?
I
understand that point, but obviously I kind of disagree because I think Chalobah, he's played at Ligue in Ligue 1 and he was good in Ligue 1. I think he's more than capable enough to fill into that right
take the step up.
slot.
How do you know they don't want to play him as a DM? How do you know?
Chalobah can play various positions. He's versatile. You can do that. And
but no one knew Chalobah 2 games ago. This is the thing but it's true. Who out of all you guys, who can sit here and say that Chalobah was going to play how he did in them 2 games? Who could?
I knew he was class. I didn't think he would.
I didn't know he could step up
big as a breakthrough.
So I have no issue with Chalobah being at our club, but he's not going to be the guy that starts. You need to understand that he's not ready to do that yet.
I understand that.
You know, so
I think. With or without Kounde, we challenge for the title either way. To be honest.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that as well. But I just think Kounde makes us a stronger, allows us to compete better, and it gives us more options in terms of how we want to play as well. Because he is very versatile, guys. Very, very versatile.
I've got one more question coming off the back of that, because we know Thiago Silva's got one more year left on his deal. I don't think he's going to renew. He may retire after this. What role do we see him then playing this season at the club?
Who's that? Sorry,
Thiago Silva.
He'll play games. I think you'll see him rotate. I don't think. Listen, we know that Tuchel. I keep saying this. Tuchel likes to rotate his squads. You will not see Christensen playing as a centre back throughout the whole season. You know, it will be a switch, and he does that because it keeps every player that's on the bench or on the pitch hungry and wanting to fight for their team, for their positions. It's a very clever thing that Tuchel actually does. Very clever,
and
because he keeps them happy.
Well, he uses a lot of science. You can see every time after the game, he always talk about the amount of minutes, pushing someone to the limit, because he uses a lot of. I think every player has a quota of how many minutes they'll get in a season. So if a player starts getting to the red zone, he won't risk them, so he'll rotate them. So
unless you're Dave
coming out and play, so we should be fine. But we need someone to cover for Rudiger. I don't think we have anyone that can do that.
And you think Kounde could be that cover for Rudiger?
Yeah,
I hear that. Yeah, fair enough. But do you think if we go in for Saul, do you think that jeopardizes our position on Kounde? Do you think we're just going to take the brakes off?
No.
So,
because we're number one. If we get Saul, we're getting him on loan, right? So the only thing that really is what we're waiting to find out is his wages. We don't know what it is that they want, what he wants, and his wages side of things. If you look at what Chelsea have done in terms of sales and who they've bought in, right? They've bought in Romelu Lukaku for 97.5 million. I get that, but the sales have covered that costings for him anyway. So the money that we won through Champions League, I don't know how much it is, 100 or 120 odd million, plus Roman Abramovich signing off whatever he decided to sign off to Tuchel for doing that as well. We haven't really spent that much money, guys. So if we've got 60 or 70 million to spend on a Kounde, we go and do it. We can do it comfortably. We're a club that is run very, very well. Chelsea is run better than most clubs in the Premier League. You know?
Yeah,
I want to say something about this Kounde. Hold on. Listen, about this Kounde deal is that what you guys are not understanding about Kounde is that Chelsea is planning about next season. For instance, if you really get fair to sign a contract, then you have somebody already there. Because if you don't have somebody by next season, no club find out that you don't have anybody. So if you are going to a player next season, it's like the player is going to be increased because the club already knows that you don't have somebody. But once you have somebody already, this Kounde is already there. So even if you want to go to bring another defender next season, you're not going to be into pressure to bring somebody because you already have somebody in already. So for me, that deal is something that Chelsea really want to do before any other thing, because by next season, other club may come in for the guy. And by that time, you start maybe fighting with other club to sign Kounde. By then, the price will increase more than what you want to pay now.
Yeah, and he's one for the future.
And the one for the future, so you have to sign it.
Yeah. Yeah, what he
But
said there is exactly it as well.
But don't you
know?
guys think that we need to, when Thiago Silva leaves? Obviously, Thiago Silva brings a lot of experience.
See, we see the player.
Kunde is still a
Already
prospect.
here.
He's not an experienced defender like that. So
Yeah, but he
that
isn't. But if he comes in now, who is he learning from? Who is he learning from before he leaves? Thiago Silva. So I'd rather have him coming now, playing with a Thiago Silva, learning from a Thiago Silva, and players around him.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then him go and then bring him in next year, like you said. All right, he's still very young. You know, he's 22 years old.
Plus, I don't see Kounde playing in the middle of those three centre backs. I think Christensen will play there.
Where if you switch that back four?
And Aspilicueta is getting old, you know. Aspi is getting old, so he needs somebody. His contract is expiring this season, so he needs somebody that will get into that place. He already maybe one season again, but at least you need somebody, because next season you are not expecting Aspilicueta to play more than 20 games or 40 games, so you have to manage him. So already you have somebody who is going to slot into that position very easily. So the whole thing about Kounde makes sense more than every other thing. Even it makes sense. Like Lukaku did, that is the same way I placed two of them. So for me, the club need to buy the guy. But the problem is Zuma. I want Zuma to just find a way, go and play football.
Okay. I've got a question to the panel and to you, Jem.
Can I just ask the panel?
1 second.
Can I just ask Lewin?
Wait. Let him answer ask this question. Go on, mate. What was your question?
I was just going to say, right, let's say we land the Kounde deal and we get Saul on loan. Is this a better window than last year's window?
Of course.
Because we got...
No.
He's saying.
It is. I tell you,
I think it is.
Last year's window has built the core of our squad for the next 10
Yeah,
Not really.
Last season was
the
really.
best summer. He's the best summer so far.
Debatable, I think.
Werner.
No.
Thiago's
Werner, exactly. Werner, who was meant to have solved our scoring issue, and now we've gone and bought a Lukaku. So that didn't solve that issue, right? So that's the one issue. Kai Havertz, I love Kai Havertz. He's a revelation. Hakim Ziyech, who hasn't turned up yet.
Going to have a wonderful season.
So look, I get what you're saying. I think that what we did last season was a big.
What about Mendy? Jen, what about Mendy?
One second. I actually think we overbought last season in many ways. So too many players in which we didn't have to do. What we've done this year is buy players in the areas that we need to strengthen. All right, centre back's not the biggest prerogative, but the midfield and the striker is a big thing for us at the moment. And if we go and get them two areas done, that allows us to be competitive going into the Premier League.
Yeah, I'm off, bro. Safe, yeah.
Take care, mate.
Yeah,
no worries, mate. Take care. Thanks for coming on, mate. See you later.
Guys, to be honest now, I want to tell you that about the Kounde situation is now we need to think about it, because Fabrizio said that if we didn't do it in the right deadline time before 5 days or 4 days, we will not get him Kounde for sure. Because in my opinion, now we have a game on Saturday. If we didn't get him before Saturday, it will be off, to be honest. We will not get Kounde.
I think it could go deadline day. I don't
think Zuma wants to leave Chelsea, though.
He said it, Fabrizio. He said it.
Like, yeah, I know. Obviously, that's what the information has been told, but a lot changes, especially leading up to deadline day.
Well, actually, 12 hours ago, Fabrizio was saying Kounde was pretty much done anyway. It's just Chelsea trying to sort Zuma out.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Terms and that's been agreed. So
exactly, a lot of this deal does depend on if
Rudiger. Zuma, sorry, Zuma.
Yeah. I mean, I think from delaying. Sorry, what I was just gonna say briefly is that I think we know Zuma. The terms are agreed between the clubs. I think the fee is set around like 30 million. It's just the personal terms that are the issue, and if Zuma's willing or not willing to budge, that's the proper question, and if we can move him on or not.
Yeah,
in my opinion, sorry, Jim, you can
go on, mate. Go.
In my opinion about Zuma, like, do you really seriously think you're going to play more games? To be honest, we have Chalaba, we have Thiago, we have Andreas Christensen. Like, he should leave right now. He's done.
Yeah, I agree. It's
fair,
just the money.
To be fair, I feel like you guys are being quite harsh on Zuma. Like,
I'm not harsh.
I think Zuma's been a fantastic servant for this club. He's won trophies. He's won a Premier League with us. And yeah, Zuma isn't the greatest on the ball, but he has other qualities. Like, He's great from air in the air. He's probably one of the best defenders in the Premier League aerially. Like he got how many goals for us last season just from set pieces?
I
He's made
agree.
us a huge
Yeah, I
threat.
hear
He's
you.
made
But
us
the
a
problem
huge
with
threat
Zuma,
just from
like,
set pieces, not
yeah, the
only
problem with
defending but in the opposition's area.
Zuma,
So
yeah, Zuma
Zuma
is a
does
good
have
player.
qualities, and he's a great squad player. He's good for the squad morale. Everyone in the
Well
team
said.
loves
So
him.
then you
Well
don't need.
said, mate. Well said for
Look,
Zuma.
yeah, I hear
No
I
that.
feel like you guys
disrespect
are
to
being
that
a bit
guy.
harsh on Zuma. He's a Champions League winner. He's a Premier League
Well
winner.
said.
Yeah, of
Well
course he
said,
is.
mate.
But the problem is, under Tuchel, he doesn't fit the system. It's as
Yeah, I
simple
agree
as
with
that.
that.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
but
Yeah,
he's
I
not
agree.
That
gonna
is a
play
fact.
every game.
I'm
He's gonna
I'm
play the
not
cup
denying.
games. He's gonna fill in. When Zuma has been called in to fill in for us last season against Man
The back
City,
three.
he puts in a good shift. Look at that
Not
tackle
in
he
the
made
back
on
three.
Sterling.
He's
He was
Not
good on
in
the
the
He
back
was
back three.
he
Not
was
in the
great
back
Thiago
that
three.
game.
Silva.
Whenever
the problem.
Zuma's been called upon, he's been good. So yeah, he's not the greatest on the ball. Everyone's gonna have flaws to their game, but he's competent on the ball. Let's say he's not
But
terrible.
he's not an elite defender.
Competent.
He's not the type that will win you a Premier League. I'm sorry. That's a
But he's
fact.
not
But he's
gonna
a
be
very
starting
competent.
every game. He's not
Look,
gonna be
he's a very
starting every game.
competent
He's
player.
won a
I hear
Premier
that.
League as well. He's won a
Yeah, but
Premier
I
League.
mean,
He's not gonna be
there's
starting
new
every
blood
game.
coming through that are better and have like higher
You're
ceilings, like
you're
Chalobah.
saying he's not gonna be the one that's to win us a Premier League. He's not gonna be starting every game. We have Rudiger,
It's a
Christensen,
great
Thiago
time right
Silva.
now because of his age. He needs to leave right now.
Exactly. What's the
To be
point
honest.
in having them then
He's
if
a
he
good
doesn't
squad.
start
He's a
every
good
game
squad player. He's a good
when we
squad player,
can?
and he's happy to be a squad player.
Yeah, but
Clearly
I mean, we
No.
don't. It's the need. If we can offload Zuma and get in Kounde while still keeping Chalobah and protecting Chalobah's development
Yeah.
and giving him those extra minutes that may have been taken
As
up by
yeah,
Zuma,
yeah.
I feel
that's
like
the
you guys
thing,
just want
right?
to. I feel like you guys just want a new shiny toy. Like, it's
No,
not
no, no,
that
it's not that.
deep. I don't really think
How many years he was
we
here
had
in
the best
Zuma and
defense
Chelsea
in the
squad?
league last season without Kounde. Kounde is a 22-year-old.
Was
He's not
Zuma a part of that?
Kounde is not. I don't think Kounde is going to make our starting 11 better. Yeah, he might improve our squad.
Oh no. He
Come
will.
on,
He might
He
come
improve
will.
our
on.
He will
overall squad depth.
significantly
Come
improve our
on.
depth.
I think he's just
He's
saying that
not
because he
gonna.
has a Zuma thing at the moment.
No,
But
He's
man.
the backup
He's not
of
gonna make.
Zuma.
He's not
He's
going to make
backup
our
of Zuma.
initial starting 11
bro,
better.
listen,
He's not gonna
how
make
do you
our
know
initial
that?
starting 11 better.
How do you know that without him playing
He's
for
not.
the club
He's
yet?
not better. He's not.
You don't,
So
you don't
do
know
you
that.
think Kounde gets into our starting 11 straight away? Right.
Yes.
As of now?
Yes.
Ahead of who? He's not better than
Why would he
Thiago
not?
Silva.
Why
He's not
would
better
he
than
not? Why would he not
Christensen.
play right centre back?
He's not better
Go
than
on.
Rudiger or Christensen.
Why would he
Or
not play
Aspi.
right centre back?
Boy, come on.
Stop it.
Because he's better. Because Aspi plays right centre. He's not better than Aspi.
No, stop it. You're one of these Kounde haters, isn't you? I knew there's another Kounde hater. Here's another Kounde hater. I knew there was one. I was waiting for it to come out, and it's come
One
out on my
amongst
channel
the
now.
ranks.
Kounde hater. Listen, don't hate that. Listen, he will if he comes to Chelsea and we buy him for 50, 60, 70, whatever it is we buy him. We do not buy him to sit on the bench, my friend. It's not happening. You know, he will not. Listen, he will be rotated. You're right. He will be rotated. He won't always play every game. He might play different positions. He might see Rudiger's rested. Kounde plays left centre back. Then he goes right centre back. Then he might. You never know. Thiago Silva gets injured. Christensen takes a little knock. Kounde goes in the middle. I don't know. But he will give you that option. That's what I'm saying to you. You can't do that with all of the other centre-backs that we've got. They're not versatile enough to be able to do that, other than maybe a Christensen. Maybe. I don't think you can do that with it. So that's what Kounde gives you, my friend. Zuma can't give you that. We know he struggles as a left centre-back. He can do a job. I agree. And I'm a big fan of Zuma. I like Zuma. But he's not, in terms of distribution, being able to bring the ball out and play in the way that Tuchel likes his teams to play, Zuma cannot do it as good as Kounde. Kounde is probably the best progressor with the ball, moving the ball out than any of our defenders that we've got. Go and look at his stats. Go and watch him. Yeah, he's very good at doing that.
I agree.
He's very, very good at
That's
that.
that's the only reason why we're trying to get rid of Zuma. We're not doubting he's a good player or anything. He just does not fit the system that Tuchel wants to play, and he needs to go. Exactly. It's just a part of that. You know, it's not something that we want to see.
Yeah,
now, go on.
I agree. Go on, finish off, mate. Go on, what were you saying?
Oh, I can't even remember, man. Just doesn't fit the system, innit?
It's been a crazy stream. We've still got 300 people, nearly 300 people here. Make sure you hit the likes. Just push the 200 likes mark. I have got to finish off because 3 o'clock, I've got to get back to work. Honestly, it's been a massive, great show here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on our road to 2.5k. I can't do that unless you guys continue to subscribe. like this channel. Let's try and get to 200 likes. I think we're about 30 away from hitting that. So let's try and get that, guys. 260 of you here still. I want to thank all of you guys for coming in today as well. Bobby, Collins, Nick, Lane, KO. You guys, we will be doing more of this football style as well. But we're doing more of these shows as we go through. We're going to be doing debate shows soon. So once the transfer talks are finished, we're going to start talking about players and their performances. So we'll highlight maybe a Rudiger, then a Lukaku, then a Ziyech. And what we do is we focus on that player and how we think they've been playing throughout the season, or what they could do better. Or if they're having a great season, why they're having such a great season. And yeah, there's a lot to come from that with the match reaction shows, the rating shows, the preview shows. So much Chelsea content that I'm going to start doing from moving forward now that I'm back as well from my break. So make sure that you stay tuned and hit that bell notification button. If you don't do that, it won't let you guys know that when I'm live, and you'll miss the stream. But you guys will end up having to catch up on it later on as well. Let's welcome Kounde and thanks to great Zuma as well. Dusty saying here, need to do a celebrity stream when we sign. We will. We will.
Is coming up.
We need to do an appreciation video for Zuma when he leaves.
I agree with that. I like Zuma, man. I do like Zuma. But listen, guys, thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day.
Guys.
Take care of yourself, Bobby, as well. God bless. See you in a bit, guys.
Take care.
See you later, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Jem.
No worries, man. Peace.
Like peace, still king. Like bando, bitch, oh please, yeah. Brand new whip, no keys, yeah. Get down on knees, yeah, yeah.